Hey guys, this is Phil from Untitled.com. Today we're going to take a look at Xperia Z5 Compact. So Xperia Compact line comes in every odd number of the Xperia series. That means there has been a Z1 Compact and the Z3 Compact overall. Now the Compact series is something unique to Sony. Only Sony provides, well, at least out of the major manufacturers, something with the flagship specs and it's in a smaller form factor. Now this is at 4.6 inches, this is by no means a small or a tiny phone. This is actually moderately big, but still a lot smaller than a lot of mainstream model, including its own Xperia Z5. So here we go, and there is a lot of different colors optional for this guy, and I'm actually surprised myself that I like this color. It's called coral, it's not pink, but anyhow, I like the way it looks. Overall, it's actually really well built too. The Z1 Compact and Z3 Compact wasn't really exactly up to my satisfaction of the build quality, but this guy feels really rigid and solid in my hands. Backside has a frosted glass, so it's less likely to gather fingerprint or any scratches on it, but it still does, so make sure to get some kind of protection for it if you're a perfectionist like me. On the right, it's got the iconic Fingerprint Reader along with the power key. Now this is a bit thicker than the mainstream Z5, so it allows you to have an easier fingerprint recognition. This is too slim, so if you're using your finger, it usually slipped away from it, but this guy has a lot of space between the frame and the reader, so it's a lot easier for you to read the finger. Now the volume key is still at an awkward place, but there's a dedicated camera key, so that's a good thing. There is a no more docking port, magnetic docking port, but micro SD card expansion, and the nano SIM card is available. There's a strap hole. The earphone hole is still on top. We hope that moves up to the bottom, but they didn't. But overall, this feels really solid and rigid in my hands, so we're really happy with that. Turning on the screen, it gives us the 720p display. Now, we are kind of hoping for an upgrade to 1080p, but Sony still sticks to the 1080p for its mainstream Z5, which is a 5.2 inches. So at a 4.6 inches, Sony might think that 720p is going to be ever enough. It's not actually that bad. The screen is actually pretty bright, and it does its job very well done. Outside legibility is just average, but still, this is by no means a bad display. Along with that, Sony has improved the camera a lot. The Z1 and the Z3 Compact had a bad camera. For their size, it was okay, but as a mainstream model, that was pretty bad. But they had upgraded camera both in software and the hardware. So you have an upgraded software here. You can go to manual. There has been a manual mode all the time, but they changed the interface a little bit. So here's the scene mode and everything that you can choose from, and this actually does a pretty good job. Sony claims that they have improved the focusing and digital zoom, pretty much everything. We were not exactly entirely happy with the photo quality as a flagship, but as a device this small, you should be pretty happy about the results of this Xperia Z5 Compact. Now, the sound quality is another thing that we really count on. So here you have the audio settings that provides you with the equalizers, Sony own equalizers here. I prefer unique, but there's clear bass, so you can boost that up without distorting the sound too much. There's automatic optimization, so if you happen to plug in a earphone that it recognizes, it's going to fit in the sound as its likings. There's surround sound, and aside from that, there's DSE-HX that upscales your files so you get more detail out of it. Well, those things are not always working at their best, so don't count too much on it. When you go to accessory settings, it has LDAC support, so if you have a supported pair of headphones, you'll be able to get a lot richer sound even than the aptX Bluetooth standard. Now, there's a noise canceling, so if you have compatible earphones, you can use the noise cancelling function as well. But one catch here is that since the Lollipop upgrade of Sony decided to drop support for the global sound effect, which means that you'll be able to enjoy the sound effect of the Sony Zone only on the apps, the small number of apps that it supports. So that's a little problem there. We're very disappointed about that. We hope Sony fixes that, but we're not really seeing any signs of it, so we guess that's the way it's going to be. Now, the battery-wise, Sony is really proud of the power management. They have the mode called the stamina mode. We're not really sure how, it is a good function. It definitely makes your battery endurance better, but it kind of messed up with the LTE connectivity, at least in our region. So that is one catch. Aside from that, we tried turning off all the power savings to make things fair, and we were able to get about 4 hours and 20 minutes to 5 hours of the screen on time. That's definitely not bad, but Xperia Z3 Compact had a better, even better battery life than that, so we guess that's a power hog Snapdragon 810 contributing to the more resources that it's taking. Talking about the Snapdragon 810, it's got a Snapdragon 810 as everybody knows, and that's not necessarily a good thing because Snapdragon 810 is of course known for its heat issues, and this is actually a very well controlled Snapdragon 810 device. There is heat, there is a subtle heat here, but it's not as bad as the other Snapdragon 810 devices, and the predecessors even had that amount of heat anyways. So we guess that's a pretty okay deal for a Snapdragon 810 device. They managed it very well. The 2 GB of RAM does its job. It's a 720p resolution, so it's not going to be requiring a lot of the pixels to run on RAM. The software-wise is Sony's own. They barely have changed it over the years. The launchers look the same. There's a theme, but still there's a really small number of things that have changed. One of the things is that Sony tries to not skin the vanilla Android too hard to the level that it's going to get sluggish or slow. The one thing that they do customize for sure is the color and the icons. And these icons, as I said in the Xperia Z5, are too bright and colorful, even to the level that it looks childish to my eyes. And there's a blue tint on top. The Lollipop supports the tint on the notification bar, and Sony loves to put that color all around. So when you go to calendar, there's blue. When you go to calculator, there's green. So it's really, I don't know, it's really a pain to my eyes. So we hope Sony fixes that, but Sony tends to keep the user interface very same for a long term of time, so we don't know when it's going to change. So overall, I was very happy with this device. This has a solid performance and good camera performance, and battery life is not as good as the predecessor, but it's still as good, and we're really happy with it. It's the best compact smartphone that you can get probably in the market right now. So that was Sony Xperia Z5 Compact, the latest invention of Sony's compact series. Thank you always for watching. We got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. That's pretty much it. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on the social services. We will see you guys later along with the other reviews. Until then, this was Xperia Z5 Compact. Bye.